Nancy H. I read you had to leave your son when he was young because you were hired on The View and you needed to film in New York. What was that experience like, having to commute across country between a 2-year-old son and a job? Did you face more scrutiny and judgment for this because you're a woman?
Yes, my son, because he had delays. He was in therapy when I got off for The View, and I was told that if I took him to New York, I would be arrested. And I figured that wouldn't be a really good look to be arrested during Hot Topics. Because it would literally be like I was kidnapping him from Los Angeles.
Oh, I see.
Because once they start having therapy and they set up their bonds with therapists, you can't just pull them out and say, because I'm moving, I'm taking my child.
I see.
So we went through a very bitter, ugly custody battle over Jeffrey, my ex-husband, and I, for 2 years. I sat at The View and waved and smiled and cried in the green room. I flew back every week to see my son. It was probably the hardest thing that I had to do. I thank God for the women that I work with. For Barbara Walters, I would cry on her shoulder and come out again and wave. And it was extremely difficult to do, but I just kept having, and I remember being in court when we were going through the custody battle, and my ex-husband's lawyer said, well, why don't you just do a talk show in LA? And I went, do you understand that's not how this business works? And then they said, well, why don't you do it, just do a sitcom here in LA? And I went, it doesn't work like that for us.
I have to get a job when I'm offered a job.
When I'm offered a job, I got to take the job, and it was offered to me in New York.
Right.
And that is where I have to live. So I got some judgment, but I had to keep going. You know what? Jeffrey's going to realize Mommy did everything she could to provide the best life that she could. My son has to get various therapies. He has to go to a special school, and that costs money.
You betcha.
And so, you know, that's how I got through it, knowing he was going to grow up and go, Mommy did the best she could. And I did get custody of him.
Oh, good.
I did. After 2 years, I got custody.
Oh, how
so he's
great.
with me in New York.
Oh, thank God.